All right, so we're gonna begin now. This is speaking practice. Okay, so what's gonna happen in this class, as you can see here, you will read a short passage and then listen to a conversation on the same topic. Then you will be asked a couple of questions about them. And after you read the question, you will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak. Have you guys done speaking practice with any of your teachers assigned? Or this will be your first time? Andrea or Pablo, have you guys done it before?
No, teacher.
Oh, okay.
No,
All
teacher.
right. All right. So you're assigned to do this with a couple of teachers. It's called the calls. They do calls weekly, like for 15 minutes. If you haven't yet, ask you know, the coordinator for information. Okay. So this is our first practice as a class. So we can read it together or separate, whichever you guys prefer. You guys prefer to read it together or separate?
I think separate is okay.
Okay. All right. We'll begin here. So you read the following, and I'll show it. I'll lower it down here. I'll put the timer and give here for maybe 5 minutes, and then lower it and give another 5. All right. You may begin reading.
Okay, teacher, could you scroll down, please?
Yes. All right. So I'm continuing now with
Finish.
all right, with the listening. Okay. All right, you will only be able to watch this video or listen to this in the real exam only once. So prepare your discussion after we analyze. Okay, I'll play here shortly once it appears.
Now listen to two students discussing the announcement.
So did you hear that the university is cutting its transportation budget and ending all bus service?
I did hear that. But it's no big deal, right? I mean, the university is also compensating all students with $50 vouchers for public transportation. The vouchers can be used on, the subway and public buses. So, it sounds like there won't be a big problem.
Are you kidding me? This is going to be horribly inconvenient. I mean, first of all, there's no public transportation to the DeWolf Science Center. It's far away from any subway and bus station, and getting there will require a 20-minute walk through some of the worst neighborhoods in the city.
I guess that will be a problem for some people. But try to look at it this way. There's too much division in this country between university students and the people who live in the cities around them. Won't this encourage a spirit of togetherness, like when we're all using the same public transportation?
But actually, I think that this policy, that it won't help create much new interaction between students and city dwellers at all.
Why not?
Well, because $50 is not very much money. I mean, it'll probably only cover about a month's worth of subway or bus passes. And, most students won't be able to afford to take public transportation. So with students forced to walk everywhere, I just don't understand where all of this great new interaction is going to be happening.
The female student expresses her opinion about why she disagrees with the university's new policy. State her opinion and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion.
Okay, were you able to listen to it good, Pablo?
Yes.
Very good. Okay. All right, so there's going to be provide an example on how the response should be prepared. Okay.
Okay. I just have 30 seconds for prepare my response, right?
Yes. So preparing time is 30 seconds. Response is 60.
60,
But
okay.
here I'm gonna show a brief example on what they're looking for. Okay. So look at this. Before we watch the video, look at these notes. See what you can maybe get from them. Maybe you can do some similar notes.
Yep.
you know, from the reading and the listening, compare them. All right. Okay. So now let's watch this video and see what we can learn from how he prepares his response. So they're looking for this similar response, and he'll explain how. Okay.
Already know what you might hear. You should have some ideas about what problems the student will have with the university's decision. That's because in the text, you have some clues. The text gives you some details about their decision, and the student will talk about those details. So it's possible, for instance, that the student will talk about the $50 passes. Maybe that's not enough money. Maybe once every semester is not enough times. It's also possible that the student might talk about all public subways and buses. Maybe there should also be some other type of transport, maybe trams or trains that aren't included in this $50 pass. Or maybe the subways and buses aren't enough for some other reason. And this is the most noticeable one. The university thinks that students are going to join in the local community. Immerse means go in completely. For example, if you're immersed in water, you are underwater. So this means that students will really completely, totally join the local community. They will talk with people from that area, from the local area. So this one, you can imagine the student will probably disagree with this. She'll say, no, students won't interact with the local community. And then she'll give some reasons why. So your job is to listen for those details and why the student disagrees with them. So from the text, I have a bit of notes that $50 per semester, it's all subways and buses, and students will join in the community. And in the listening, I just made note of the most important parts which relate to that. And during those 30 seconds that you have to prepare, you can make connections. The science center is too far from the bus stop, and students have to walk through a bad area. Well, this connects to the subways and buses. That is, there are not enough subways and buses because the bus does not go to the science center. They have to go to a bus stop that's far away. Next, the little money and little interaction. Well, this really connects to both of these points, but more specifically and more importantly, it connects to the second point, that students will not interact with the community. Students will not join the community because it's not enough money. So you might take a couple of notes here as to what you're going to say, but really the arrows, the connections, and just thinking about it before you speak could be enough for you. If you do take notes, you might just say something along the lines of, well, not enough buses, and the science center, and besides that, not join the community because of money. Okay, so that's not join, and I just have short words here for community because of money. Remember, you want to write quickly. Okay, so let's hear my sample answer. Well, again, we have 60 seconds, that's 1 minute. And I'm going to speak about those two main points that will take most of my time. The woman thinks that the university's plan to get rid of the buses and instead offer students a $50 voucher is a bit flawed, I guess, because it's not enough money, for one. The $50 will not last for a full semester, so students will have to walk, which means that they actually won't be able to interact with the community like the university hopes. So instead of actually joining in and talking with people, they will be walking everywhere. And besides that, the student also says that one of the most important buildings on campus, the Science Center, is inaccessible by bus. That is, the student has to stop far away from the Science Center and then walk there through a really bad part of town. So giving the students vouchers is not the same as giving them a bus service directly to the Science Center. It's more dangerous and it's inconvenient. Okay, so there again, we talked about the most important details. Why the student thinks that it's not enough money and what effect that has, that the students will not join the community, and the Science Center being too far away.
Okay. So, what will be your response? Okay, so prepare your response. All right. You will have 30 seconds to prepare.
Okay.
All right. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you
Let me
have
know
the
whenever
timer?
you have it. Yeah, I have the timer here.
Okay. How do
1
I
minute.
know when do I have to?
Start. You start and I'll press start.
Okay, but you are gonna say it's time when it's finished.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Let me start first about saying that the university new policy that wants to rip it off the buses, and instead of that, they plan to give vouchers to the students, $50 amount per semester. Um, the student the student thinks that that money is not enough, and also the students won't interact with the community like the university thinks. In addition, we can say that the science department is very far away from the bus stop. So students has to walk a long distance in a very bad area. That's not convenient for students. The students totally disagree with the new policy. The $50 per semester is not enough, and the university won't achieve
All
the
right. Time.
goal.
All right. Okay. So prepare your response once again. Okay.
Okay.
And short it down so you can be able to make it in time. So take some words out, or maybe the intro, maybe you can get shortened down so you can get to your ending, on time.
Okay.
All right. Let me know when you're ready here. 30 seconds, okay?
Okay. Okay. I'm ready.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. I think the according to the passage, we can say that the university plans to cut the free buses that brings students to the campus, and the students also disagree with this policy, with this new idea, because they think the buses are not close enough. The bus stops are not close enough to the university, and also the budget that the university plans to give is very low. It's not enough for they. Because the science department is very far away from the first stop, and the students totally disagree with that. Also, she mentioned about the community interaction that the university plans, but this is not possible because the very low budget.
All right, very good. You're right on time. All right, so next time just continue shortening your answers in a way, for it to last and explain, everything that is needed in that amount of time.
Mm.
So with practice, it will be you will be able to capture the information.
Mm.
As you read, start like maybe making notes or start making ideas on what your response could be. So that will give you time when you prepare. As you saw in the video.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's do another one here. All right. So now read this. See if I can extend it. There you go.
Okay.
All right. All right. So now let's listen to the passage.
Now listen to two students discussing the announcement.
I think it's totally unfair that the Buonocore Scholarship is only being offered to students in the Romance Languages department. Like, it's an amazing opportunity, and it's so sad to see it monopolized in this way.
Is it really such a bad thing to limit the scholarship to one department, though? I mean, the fewer students compete for the prize, the easier it'll be for students like us to win it. After all, there are only 7 other students in the whole Romance Languages department besides us.
That doesn't change the fact that it's wrong for the scholarship to be limited to our single department. It's a matter of principle. First of all, there are students in other departments, like history and classics and Renaissance studies, all of whom would definitely benefit from a year in Italy. Why shouldn't they get a chance to submit their work to the committee?
But if they also submitted their essays, it would be harder for us to get the prize.
Look, just because something benefits me personally doesn't make me think that it's right. I mean, I have a lot of friends in history and classics and Renaissance studies, and I totally agree with them that it's wrong for them to be ineligible to compete for the scholarship. After all, Romance Languages is a very small department, and it seems abusive for us to keep this resource all to ourselves.
I guess I see where you're coming from.
Also, I think that it takes something away from the honor of winning the scholarship if the competition isn't very strong. I'd rather know that I earned the opportunity to study in Rome by competing against the very best students, instead of thinking that I was only honored because other talented people were unnecessarily excluded from the process.
Okay. Now prepare your response.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So you may begin now whenever you're ready.
The prompt is, yeah, the female student expressed her opinion about why she disagreed with the university new policy. States her opinion and explain the reason she gives the following opinion. Okay. Could you reset, please? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. All right.
Okay. According to the paragraph, according to the paragraph, the new policy of the university about an internship to Italy. According to this girl, this student is totally unfair, it's wrong, and it's not good for her, because even if she will make this internship, because she is in the romance department, she doesn't feel very good, because she wants to compete with people, with the best of of every department. And also she thinks that's the principal reason. It's question of principles. It's not for her, it's not unfair that just their department could compete in this challenge.
Okay. Very good. Good time. Good explanation. All right. Very good. So now let's watch this. How he prepared his discussion. So we just have it just for for it to help us on the following.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you, teacher.
Before you hear the conversation, in the text, there are some details that you can use to anticipate, to expect what you will hear in the conversation. Because, of course, in this type of question, in question number 3, you will always hear a student who agrees or almost always disagrees with something in a text like this one, and then explains why they have that opinion. So here, you can look for what the student might disagree with. And there's one specific sentence that is definitely possible to disagree with. This final sentence here. Students in departments other than the Romance languages are ineligible for this opportunity. Ineligible means they can't do it. They are not allowed. So that means that only some students can do this. You can see that's possibly negative. It's something that somebody might not be happy about, because students in other departments maybe want that opportunity, but they can't have it. So you can expect in the conversation you will hear more about this. You could also hear about some other details. Maybe you would hear about the detailed plan, or maybe you would hear about the essay. These are things that the student could possibly dislike, so you want to listen for those too. But this one is especially notable. Okay, and when we actually hear the conversation, it turns out that the student mostly just disagrees with this part. She explains a couple of different reasons why she disagrees with that, though. Now, here are my notes. Your notes will look different, but the Bueno Course Scholarship, I wanted to write down here because that text, after I hear the conversation, is gone. And this is not an easy word to remember. So I wanted to remember it, so I just copied it from the original text. You should do that. If there is something in the text that you want to remember, put it in your notes because it will disappear. So the Bueno Core Scholarship, and then I have some details as to what that is. If you need an essay and a plan and you study in Rome, and it's only one department, it's only the Romance language department. Notice these abbreviations, these short forms, definitely use abbreviations. Make those notes fast. And when I listened, I was listening for details of problems that the student had with the university's plan. And here are the problems I noted: that other students can't do it, and that's not fair. And I made note of some specific other students so that I can talk about those specific other students. And the other part, that she wants to compete with everybody. She wants to submit an essay and a plan and be considered against many people, because if she is the one who gets the scholarship from many people, that's very that is preferable. That is more comfortable for her. It's more of an exciting win than if she is just winning against, say, 3 people, smaller group. So, based on those notes and those ideas, I'm going to have first 30 seconds to prepare. I don't really need this 30 seconds because I've already planned this, but for you on your test day, you would want to spend this time making links and structuring what you will say. You could make connections from the text to the listening, or even better, think about the structure of what you'll say. So you can say, talk about the Bueno Core Scholarship for a minute, not for a full minute, for just 15 seconds, and then talk about why the student disagrees with it for the next 45 seconds and explain why she disagrees with it. And that's really just the same as what's up here: other students and competition. And maybe that is a little bit easier to read and remember when you're actually speaking than trying to look at this long piece of text here that's your full notes. Okay, so here we go. We have 60 seconds. I will have 60 seconds to answer, and you're going to
What happened, teacher? There is no audio. Okay, teacher, something
her
is wrong.
friends in other
Teacher,
departments,
something-
like
What happened?
No, I haven't heard his response.
You haven't. Oh, he's not playing. Oh, okay,
No.
1 second.
Maybe you could reload it for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part is okay. Okay. There is no audio, teacher.
There's no audio.
No audio.
1 second.
idea, and then talking about the 2 problems that the student has. But for you on your test day, you would want to spend this time making links and structuring what you will say. You could make connections from the text to the listening, or even better, think about the structure of what you'll say. So you can say, talk about the Bueno Core Scholarship for a minute, not for a full minute, for just 15 seconds, and then talk about why the student disagrees with it for the next 45 seconds and explain why she disagrees with it. And that's really just the same as what's up here, other students and competition. And maybe that is a little bit easier to read and remember when you're actually speaking than trying to look at this long piece of text here. That's your full notes. Okay, so here we go. We have 60 seconds. I will have 60 seconds to answer, and you're going to hear that structure of introducing the idea and then talking about the two problems that the student has with the university's plan. The university is planning to give a new scholarship to students. It's a very important scholarship called the Bueno Corps Scholarship, which will allow students to study in Rome if they submit an essay and a plan and are approved to study there. But the student is unhappy with this decision because of some of the details about how this scholarship is going to be given. For one, it's only going to be given to students in the Romance language department. And that means that her friends won't be eligible, and she thinks that her friends in other departments, like, say, for example, in the history department, should have that opportunity too. She also thinks that because it's so exclusive, it's not really very satisfying to win that scholarship, because she wants to compete with everybody and know that she earned it, not that she is just in some exclusive group. All right. So I spent a little bit long on the first part, introducing the scholarship. Yours should probably be a little bit shorter, because if you want to have enough time to describe both of the students' problems with the plan, then you'll probably want a full 40 seconds or 45 seconds to do that. But still, follow that structure, use that vocabulary for opinions, and you are good to go. Try it yourself.
Okay. So this one you're over to listen to it well? Pablo?
Sorry, teacher.
Yeah, this one you're over to listen to it, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So if you want to maybe copy his response to have it as an example, you can.
Yes, let me check. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. According to the paragraph, the new competition for an internship on a scholarship that brings the students to Italy, 2 semesters free tuition, and they just want to write an essay, and that will be for competition. But the students for this internship are not happy with the policies, because some details of the policy that says that the only Romance department can apply to this internship, and the students are not happy with that, because they think that this is not it's wrong, it's unfair for other departments, and the student wants to compete with the best of the ones. So she thinks it's unfair for their classmates in other departments.
All right. We're done. How do you feel this time?
I think I made my mind more clearly.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, sounded like you did. All right, very good.
Yeah. I think
Right,
it's
so-
because the teacher here is the notes that he wrote it's better than mine, because mine is a little, I missed a lot of details, and I think he resumed very well.
Oh, okay. Well, we can learn from it, right? We can try to get things right, get things
Yes.
going. All right. All right. You want to try again and then do it on your own? this time.
Okay.
All right. All right, we'll put it here. So read this on your own. All right.
Okay, I think the 45 seconds is done.
Now, listen to two students discussing the announcement.
Can you believe that the Secretary of State's speech is being limited to students in the political science and government departments? It's really unfair that they get guaranteed access.
Wait, really? I mean, don't you agree that the Secretary of State's speech is especially important to students in government and political science?
But what about students in history or cultural studies? It's wrong to assume that just because someone studies government, the speech would automatically be more important for them.
I guess so, but can't you still apply to get a seat? So if it is important to you, you can just, show them that it is.
With the essay? That's not exactly ideal. The people who judge the essays will be professors from government and political science. They have their own ideas about what good and bad reasons are. They'll be too prejudiced.
You think?
Oh, totally. I mean, how will they be able to judge an essay by someone like a poet or a computer scientist or a sculptor? They'll probably just dismiss those essays completely.
The female student expresses her opinion about why she disagrees with the university's new policy. State her opinion and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion.
Okay, prepare your response.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. According to the paragraph, there will be a speech from the Secretary of State of the government about the new techniques and new ways to make a warfare. But only the students of the political department and the government department are allowed to attend this speech or this presentation. The girl thinks, or the student thinks, that it is it's not fair because other majors like medicine or architecture maybe are not eligible because the the selection, the professors won't take account their essays for participate that in that speech.
All right. All right. How
Yeah,
do
I
you
think
feel about it?
yeah, I think I lost 5 seconds or 10 seconds searching
It's a
our
timer.
word.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's listen to this last.
Okay.
We're only gonna listen to his answer, okay? Not how he prepared.
Note how these details fit in. The 1 hour can go in the beginning, and then I'm going to make a connection between the unfairness with the political science and government students being the only ones, and that the 1,000-word essay is judged by professors from those same departments. So with these connections, I have a few details that I can add to this summary here, and altogether that should take me about 60 seconds to explain. So let's hear it. Again, I will have 60 seconds, 1 minute, to introduce the problem and give the students' opinions on it, and I will not give my opinion. I'm only going to talk about what the student thinks. So the school is going to be hosting a special guest speaker. The Secretary of State is going to talk for an hour at the school, and the students have an opportunity to hear the Secretary of State, which is, the woman thinks, a great opportunity, but not everybody is given the opportunity equally, and she says that's unfair. Specifically, only students from the political science and government departments are guaranteed seats to hear the speaker. And the woman thinks that people from humanities or other cultural studies should have that opportunity too, in order for it to be fair. She's also concerned about the extra seats, the 100 extra seats that can go to other students, not going to the correct students, because the people who are judging the essays are professors from that same two departments, political science and government, and she thinks they'll be biased. Okay, and that is the end. Now, again, I gave all of the woman's opinion, and I used some of those details from the text to add extra information.
All right, Pablo. So I hope these exercises, help you to continue getting ready for the listening part,
Okay.
for the speaking and the reading. So between all your response for it to be prepared well.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you, teacher.
Sounds good. All right, sounds good. So that'll be all for today. I'll just post these last questions, and that'll be all.
Okay, teacher. See you Thursday, right?
Thursday,
Friday.
yeah. We'll see each other Friday.
Okay. See you then.
All right,
Have a
see
good
you.
night. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.